Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button, get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on the next episode of Fort Prairie, an Alberta themed city. Welcome back to the channel. If you missed last episode, we started expanding the region of Greenberg, the town, the district, the neighborhood of Greenberg, and it turned out pretty well. One thing I do need to say is I just tried to record this episode, but I had a bit of corruption on my recording, so we did a lot of work that I can't really undo. So we're gonna take a little quick tour of kind of basically what we did is we kind of finished off. Well, I did because you haven't seen it yet. We finished off what we did on Wednesday's episode where we built up Greenberg. So we'll take a look at that, and then I also made a traffic fix that I want to show off. So we'll have a bit of like a recap from what was episode 25.5, I guess, which unfortunately the video was corrupted. So apologies for that. I really was thinking about maybe just redoing it, but I really want to get going on the downtown, and I'm very excited for today's build, which is Fort Prairie. Actual Fort Prairie, the historical fur trading post. I'm just so excited about it. So let's just take a quick dive into the city, and what we'll do is we'll kind of go over what I did off camera, I guess, and then I'll go over the plans for this series, kind of show off some locations that I'm planning out, just for a little quick planning session, and then we'll dive right into actually Fort Prairie, the historical Fort Prairie. All right, so here's the town of Greenberg, or the neighborhood. And the story behind Greenberg is that it was a German-Dutch settlement. It started over in here, but as the region grew up, it became a larger suburb. So what did we do off camera? Well, I switched out the soccer field for a baseball diamond because I think it worked a little bit better. We have a bit of a store over here as well, which is nice. You know what? I should probably just go into this view. And then we had a bit of a commercial center over here as well, just along this road. And we finished off building up this area with some residential. We also built up this park with an old church on it. It's just a continuation of the park that we built up on Wednesday's episode, which I think is called Strawberry Park. It is. It's level 3. Oh, wow. And we're still going. Okay, so that park is going to really level up. We haven't done too much with this area yet, but this is Greenberg Garden, where we have our library at the end of this boulevard here, and our high school with a modern extension attached to it, which is just another library. So what else was there? I went through and I made sure that all of these high-rise buildings aren't going to get too tall, and then we made a road connection down in here, which is helping the traffic out quite significantly. So what was that traffic fix that I mentioned before we get further? Well, there's been some discussion in the comments about the tunnel that we made in Industry Square. So what I did basically was I just mirrored it onto the other side, and we watched the traffic for a little bit. Well, sorry, I did. And pretty much the idea was just to watch how traffic was flowing out of the cargo station. So what we've done now is basically we've given the rectangle about over here a direct exit point into the industry area, and it split up the traffic on this tunnel, on Sunset Tunnel. So we've also managed to make a pretty cool little Paradox Park over here as well. We've also upgraded this road very heavily to become a 6-lane road here, but they each have dedicated turning lanes. And I think this area turned out pretty nicely. Traffic is flowing rather well through here, and it's nice that traffic destined for the cargo station has that ability to just go right into it pretty much. So cars have 2 right-hand turn lanes, so they go into either lane, and then they just go around the rectangle about and into the station. Trucks leaving the station just go right out, and this truck, for example, has decided to turn, but they could have just gone straight into the tunnel. And just by doing that, it has really increased the traffic flow of the area. It's still a little bit bunched up over here, but that is, to be expected with a lot of what we got going on. We got a lot of transit in this area, which we're going to revise in a future episode. But as you see, there is a lot of traffic in this one still, but before it was getting really heavy, especially along this road here. So, you know, it's just the first step on a process. When I noticed the video was corrupted is when we were kind of just looking at the traffic. So it's not complete yet, but I do have a traffic specific episode planned relatively soon, and we'll definitely be looking at this again. So I just wanted to show that off before we dive into the next step of the series, or of the episode, which is talking about what is the future plans for this area. Since we're kind of talking about the history of the city, might as well talk about the plans for the city. So here is what we've kind of built so far. And if you're new to the series, what we've done so far is we've started building kind of the suburbs of what's going to be our town. We started off in this area and we built a historical railway city, so our railway town, which has obviously been grown up and gentrified over time. So this was the original station, Prairie Station, for this area, and you know, has since grown and evolved over time, but you know, it still has its historical quirks, really tight grids, you know, cargo station right in the middle of the suburbs. It's interesting. But it's been really fun. We've also built this historical farming town, a town that really developed because of the railway that came through here. So we actually built this railway line that extends all the way out on the end to the end of the map. But by doing this, we've kind of created this really cute historical farming town. And as the city requires it, we're going to be getting more farms in here to really kind of push that theme. We built these two interchanges over here, which is going to play into what's going to be the downtown of the city. I'm planning the campus right here. I think that will work. We're going to have a city park right over on this side. This is where we're going to be building later on. The ore industry is going to be over here. There's only 2 ore spots on the map. Right here and then right in here. But I'm planning to do something with this area that I don't want ore, like an ore industry. I think this is going to be a really nice extension of the downtown. Yeah, so we're gonna have the ore industry. I'm thinking I'm gonna try to push it onto this side of it because I want to get some historical things, a park right here maybe, to kind of tie in with this nature reserve and then the historical center that we're gonna have. So what else is there? So we're gonna build a bit of a trumpet interchange here to go into that ore industry. Then we're going to have our major airport interchange, and we're gonna build our airport out over here. So why are we building this over on this side? Well, we're going to have a pretty major interchange here because what I'm thinking is we get an extension of the highway that's going to flow right down into here and then maybe across this island and into the downtown. We might connect it up into this to create a bit of a loop. So if we see the highways from here, we have the highway goes right through here and then into the downtown. So what I'm thinking is maybe we eventually link up this area and we link, kind of create about almost like a bit of a ring road around. And yeah, I think it could work out pretty nicely. Whether or not we're actually going to tie it in, I haven't decided that yet. So that's why I haven't, you know, worked with the highways yet, because if we're going to kind of create this into like maybe a boulevard or a main avenue or something like that, then we're probably not going to want to link them up, right? So what we'll do is we'll have this one come in and do something similar over here. So that's another option for us. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Then we're going to have the oil industry right over here with an oil industry interchange. Following the highway all the way back over here, we're going to have our forestry industry over here. We're going to reforest it for that build. But it's good to split up the industries because we have a lot on the other side. Anyways, yeah, so that's kind of... Oh, and we're going to have a nature reserve right here as well. Yeah, so that's what we got going on. That's what I was kind of hinting at last episode. But let's dive into the Fort Prairie Historical Center. So I was looking at a couple of things, and I think the first step for this is we're gonna get the parking lot and the like main gate and everything like that for the nature reserve. I think it's already a nature reserve. Oh wait, no, we gotta place the building. But I was looking at some examples, and so the story for this is this was at one point a fur trade post from either the Northwest Company or the Hudson's Bay Company that came through here. And this location is strategic because we're going to say this waterway continues. It's kind of at the confluence of these two rivers. Now, this river flows rather heavily. So I'm thinking nature is over here because there's a bit of a rapids right here. So we could create like a bit of a old portage park that kind of memorializes the old portage. If you don't know what a portage is, it's something where you pretty much pick up the canoe and you rotate around some rapids. Happens a lot. There's lots of portage parks all across the rivers, cities and rivers in Canada. Yeah, so I'm thinking this area is kind of perfect for it because, you know, this river's really high right now. So I'm assuming in the summer it'd be lower, the rapids would be less, or, you know, not as strong. And this area kind of calls for a fur trading post, but fur trading posts weren't just little teeny forts. After a little while, they turned into kind of Mountie headquarters, where, you know, fur trades would still happen with indigenous peoples in the area, but it's also kind of like a police headquarters from the early police forces, the Mounties, as the, you know, Canada's famous for, you know, the police with the red coats. They policed these lands before settlers really moved in, and you know, there's lots of historical wrongs that occurred with that, but we're sticking with the theme of it, and we're going to create a bit of a fur trading post that turned into a Mounties headquarters, and, you know, it kept the name Fort Prairie, and that's why the town is named Fort Prairie. Okay, lots of talking, not a lot of building. So let's dive into this. I'm just going to use these basic roads here, and let's look at the terrain. It's pretty flat throughout here, which is really nice. I'm thinking what we do is we just try and maybe we'll try to keep this grid. So we'll just try and pull this up 180 degrees, just like that. Bring this over. Okay, fantastic. That's not going to stay. I just wanted the grid line. So we'll delete this. So then we know that this is intact with this grid. And what we'll do is we'll just take this road. Whoa. And what we'll do is we'll connect it up. Just like that. And you know what? I think we'll just try to smooth that curve out a little bit. Yeah, very nice. And this will be like Fort Prairie Road or something like that. And then what I want is I want this road to continue on in a similar manner. But I think we'll change the road name at this point to something else. And just gonna try and see the terrain lines here. And this is going to, oh wow, pretty steep right there. Okay, we'll come down over here. And this is going to play into the campus area. So I think we'll straighten this road out at a different time. And then maybe we'll get a bridge right across right there. Oh, looks like collision was off. Or you know what, I think we've had problems with this road before, kind of building it through trees. So I'm not going to be too worried with it. Alright, so that'll give us a good kind of layout for what's going to be the campus area right in this corner, City Park, and the downtown is going to be kind of centered in this pocket. It's not going to be a big city. It's not going to be too massive like Brockton County. Okay, so cars would theoretically be able to just, you know, continue on. So what we'll do is we'll create a bit of a bump out, and we'll have the nature reserve over through here, and then we'll also have the main parking lot. So let's go with a one-way road. Why not? And we'll do the one-way road with grass, and we'll have that right here. So we'll bump it out to about there. We'll bring it all the way over to here and in. Yeah, we'll change the roads. Don't worry about that. Okay, fantastic. So that's going to be kind of the for the main gate here. So let's get that main gate in. All right, so we're going to use this large one, and we've talked about this before. We're going to try to center it too. Just going to try to count all the ones on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, it's close enough. So I'll just click it in, and I'll move it over to the right ever so slightly. Yeah, you couldn't see me counting with my finger on my screen, could you? So let's get that parking lot in now. So I think the plan would probably be to so I guess cars would turn right in here, and then we could get them to go right into the parking lot over on this side, or we get them to drive through and hit the parking lot over on this side. So I'm thinking it's probably best to have it over here. So why don't we just use the this parking tool, and what we'll do is we'll kind of go straight off like that. Yeah, that works. And then we'll have the big parking lot. Turn anarchy on. Bring it out to about here. Yeah, that works. I'm thinking maybe what we do is we make this one a little bit larger, and we make it not a one-way. No, I think we'll be fine. Okay, so let's get lots of parking through here. That, and that. Oh. There we go. And let's get that in there, and then we'll get... So we gotta do Control X here. Let's get some this parking in here. Okay, we'll do that because it looks like it should work. Okay, we'll do that. That works with me. And then what we'll do is we'll just get X, Control X. There we go. We'll just get a couple more of these in here just to try and fill out the look. All right, so we got a little bit of a parking lot in here. That's great. Yeah, I think this is a good good connection point for it. So you'll park your car. It's free parking, and then you'll come into here to pay for your ticket. So that works with me. We'll do the detailing momentarily. One thing I do need to do though for the theme of this is I'm just gonna grab a dirt road. Where is it? Rural? There it is. And I'm just gonna sneak a road right here off, and we'll just swing it around like that. And I'm gonna leave it like that for now. So the reason why we're going to do this is because I'm going to get some buildings in here that will need to be supported and everything like that. So it's going to be a bit of an interesting dilemma here, because we're going to, try to keep people paying to get in here, but I also want it to be well, I need some vanilla buildings in here in order to kind of make the themes work. So we have a couple options available to us. I'm thinking the main area will be either the tax office. Well, yeah, so it's gonna be the tax office. I'm not trying to guess here. It's gonna be the tax office. We're gonna have it right over here, and then we're gonna have a couple vanilla European buildings in here as well. So we're gonna go with the paved road. I'm trying to think of which road specifically we should have. The country road could work. Let's see how this works. So let's just steal this grid. Bring it out to about there. All right, so Walker Street. That's a great position for that. And we'll get the tax office. We'll place it down right here. So the tax office does something for our city. So let's read it. So the civil servants work tirelessly at the tax office to optimize the taxes to your liking. Requirement for the fusion power plant. So I'm not a fan of the whole parking aspect of this building though. But I think the colonial red bricks really work with the theme that I'm going for. If you look at kind of like Fort Calgary or other forts like that, that's kind of what I'm going for. So let's try and use the BOB mods, see if we can get rid of those parking lots. I don't know if we can. Hang around marker, Wi-Fi antenna. Parking spaces, nice. Okay, so let's turn off those, and then we'll do the same thing for that side. Oh, fantastic. That is great. All right, and you know, it works really well with this country road too. Okay, so we need to make a bit of a district in here as well. So I'm just gonna plop in a normal district. We'll clean it up afterwards. Anchor Parks, and this is going to be Fort Prairie. Okay, so themes, enable theme manager, European, and then we're gonna turn off everything else so it's just like a clean logo. And we're not gonna have anything else in here. It's all good. All right, so let's try and make this kind of seem like a bit of a barracks kind of style. So I'll have it out to about here, and then I need high density European buildings. See if this will work actually. So we'll go into here. Let's just play with the game pause for now because yeah, it's gonna make it a little bit better. Actually, sorry, it's 2, and then I don't really care the size of these. So these ones are European. This one is maybe a bit larger than I was expecting. Okay, this one works great. I don't love how a lot of them look, especially with kind of how they end off. So my dog is in here with me today, and I keep getting distracted by him because he's kicking my feet in his sleep. Oh, whoops. Okay, no, I like this one the best, so we'll plop that one in. Let me try to let it grow up here. Actually, we'll just let it, you know, come up naturally. So that means we need to connect up this path then. So we'll bring this out a little bit farther. And then we'll get it just to go, just the curve right in. So we'll go with a clean curve from here. Yeah, that works. So some of these are a bit too tall for my liking. I don't think the low density European building is going to have these block style. If we go into here, we'll go like that. Yeah, the low densities don't really work out in the same way. Okay, but I really don't like these ones. I don't mind this one though. Maybe what we could do is we can make it. No. Let's just talk. Let's just think this out a little bit farther. Let's see if we make it 3 deep. If there's any buildings that really work out for us. Is this one? That one doesn't. Oh, that one also has a bit of a silly kind of. And I just don't like that concrete wall, which I guess most of the European buildings have, right? Okay, let's just scrap this really quickly. And let's extend it out a little bit farther. Sorry about that. So let's extend it out to about here. Straight road. Bring it out to about there. Alright, so now we have a bit more room to play with. And, oh yeah, okay, we're good. So we can go 3 deep now because we're just trying to keep this kind of sightline clear. I think that works out great. Alright, so let's plop those assets in. And I did really like this one. I think this one works out pretty nicely. Try to get it to plop in now. That one could work. Let's see. I guess 3 speed would probably help out, wouldn't it? Alright, so these buildings don't actually work out. I don't like how they look. So we're being really picky with this kind of style here. I don't mind that one. That's the one we just saw, isn't it? Okay, well, I'll let some of these come up and we'll be a bit more picky with it momentarily. But let's get the next kind of steps in, which is going to be connecting up kind of the visitor center to this area. So we're going to be using the normal park paths for this kind of build here. So let's try and just get it right in the middle here. Turn off our guidelines, that would be helpful. And I think that's a good spot to try and then bring this out into a bit of a grid. Okay, you know what? I like these ones. We'll keep these two. These ones aren't really working out. We'll see what kind of comes in here. Let's just get some water in here so they don't disappear. And we'll run all the city services off of this road here. This kind of access road. And then we'll run this all the way down. And there we go. All right, so the next steps is the visitor center, like I said. So people are going to come in here and they're going to expect, you know, like a coffee shop, a little bit of a historical museum kind of aspect to it. So we're using this path. Let's just connect it up to about right here. And then I want to make, right. Let's just connect this up really quickly, and then right here, I'm just going to do this, and let's try and see if we can make a bit of a roundabout. Fantastic. Oh, I guess I kind of needed those paths, didn't I? All right. And then we can delete this one here. And let's delete this one again, and we'll get this one to do a bit of a nicer curve. Right into there. Yeah, very nice. Okay, so this is going to kind of set us up for a lot of the visitor center items and stuff like that. So right from here, we'll go with just the basic path, and we'll bring this one out to here. We'll connect it up. We'll do the same thing to about here. Connect that up. All right. And then this one will come out to join this road. All right, so I don't like these ones, so we'll remove those. And this road here, I think we're just gonna have to kind of end it at some point. And I'm a little curious about how we're gonna do that. So let's just kind of bump it out a little bit farther, because I think we need to line it up with the other one. Which basically means we need to get that grid length out. Nice. Okay, and then we'll just pretty much just grab a path. We'll do the same kind of thing. Connect it up like that. And it looks like people will be able to walk between them, so I don't really mind what's going on here. Just move this node over. Yep, perfect. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. We'll just scooch it as far as we can. Okay, yeah, I really don't like those buildings, so why don't we try and get a bit more picky with this. Go back down to the 2. I think this one will work. We kind of just do that. And do we have a nice corner piece? We do. That one kind of works, but it's a bit more French than British. You know what? That one really works, but we just placed a building, didn't we? Take this off. And then we go back into here. It's this one. It doesn't work on the other side. Darn. Okay, well, we'll let all these ones grow up. And we'll take a look at how this kind of works. And we'll see if anything spawns in. Maybe the buildings can flip each other. I really don't know. I'm kind of new to all this. All right. So let's just grab this road, bring it out to here, and then we'll move this. Whoa, we'll move this path up to right there. Oh, you know what? I really like these buildings. A bit easier to see on this side, isn't it? And nope, not that building. All right. Well, you know what? We could just end it off right here, and maybe they haven't done a good job at maintaining this end of it. I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating that I can't flip them or something like that. All right. Well, let's take off that right there, and then right through here. Oh, it looks like we lost that building again. Wonder why. Okay, well, enough kind of playing around with that. Let's get some amenities in here. And unfortunately, we don't have anything from the zoo unlocked because I really like those assets. But we need something to kind of look like a visitor's center. So I'm assuming that when you come in through here, you know, you walk through the gates, you probably pick up like a map or something like that. But I'm looking for a bit of a visitor center, and you know, there is like the park info booth, but yeah, I don't know, like it's just not it's just not the greatest, you know. Okay, so let's just go down to here and oops, upgrade that path. So, like, other buildings that I was thinking about using in here, it would be a good option to kind of take a peek at. None of that. Yeah, no, I don't think that'll work out. I thought I had another building in mind. Okay, I don't mind. Oh crap! Delete that. Let's. I don't mind that building though, so we'll save that building. Okay, so yeah, I guess the park info booth will have to work because I can't really think off the top of my head of a building that would kind of look like a visitor center or a museum. I guess like once we get into. Oh, the library could work though. Oh, it's a bit too big though. It would be like more of a museum at that point, right? We had this, but it's just a bit too big. We could go with maybe one of these buildings. Could go with an elementary school as well. This could actually really work out pretty nicely in here with like that old European style. It'd be like a waste of an elementary school building, but it's not like we have much going on anyways. Okay, so we'll place this one down right here. And again, we'll go into the BOB mod. And I'll find the parking spaces, and I'll turn them off. Nice. Yeah, it doesn't really look like a school, right? It looks like a, European building, and that's kind of what we're going for. Yeah, I mean that works. But you know, the museums could work out in the end, so maybe we could save a spot for it once we kind of get our item leveled up, our school leveled up. We got the police station too. Yeah, this one could really work actually. Why don't we get something like that going? And again, we'll do the same thing. We'll grab the BOB mod and we'll turn off all the... Oh, you know what? We can't do that because I think it'll turn off all of them on every building we place like that. I don't really want that to happen. Yeah, you know what? I don't mind leaving that space open then. I don't think there's anything in here or in here that could really work out in this build. Sorry, I'm just kind of dilly-dallying. I just really remembered something that I wanted to place, and I just can't put my finger on it now. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do then is the church then, because it just kind of reminded me. And this basic kind of this simple little church here is gonna really play out well, because this is you know, it kind of reminds me of these chapels that you see in these kinds of areas, because you know, this was, you know, at one point a fort, and you know, coming from the British Empire, they would have had a church. Okay, so let's focus on this section now. So let's get a bit of a cafe going down in here. So we'll go back into the parks tab, and we'll have a nice kind of area for people to grab a bite to eat while they wander about. Place that right in there. Actually, let's center it, and we'll get some washrooms as well. Washrooms will be right behind here, and we'll get 2 of them, and we'll attach them like that. So it looks like a bit of a larger washroom. And then let's place this right in here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to center it, and I believe we just upgrade this. No, it is just slightly too big. Okay, so we'll do it manually. Let's paint in this centerpiece with concrete. All right, and then we're gonna get a couple of props in here. So we'll go with where is it? Where's the horseman? We need the horseman. Okay, we'll have this one right here in the middle. So I know this is, you know, a rather a build that is kind of immortalizing the colonial past of this area, but it's rather thematic to the region. Most cities, you know, I'm thinking of like, you know, Fort Edmonton even, or most of these cities in the prairies started off as forts. For whether it be Mounties or fur trading post. So I just think it was rather thematic to do so, plus it's the name of the area as well, right? Okay, so we'll get a nice connection right there, and this will allow me to paint in everything right in here. Alright, so let's just continue detailing up this little area because we're running out of time in today's episode. So we'll get some planters, and I'll just place one planter on either side. I don't think this is centered. Alright, that works. And I think we just gotta move this one over a bit. Yeah, that looks nice. And we'll put go into the nature reserve. We'll put a sign up right here. That'll be like, this is insert colonial guy name, and this is what he did. He established the fort or something like that. Yeah, get some of these picnic tables over here as well. Nice place to sit down. So the thing is, I need to keep in mind that this is technically a nature reserve. So you know, as much as we're putting in some of these other park assets, they don't really add too much to the area, do they? So let's just get a little playground here for the kids. I like kind of adding these in because you know, sometimes kids just need to burn up some energy before the end of the. Oh no, we lost the building. Oh, what the heck? Alright, so we got this in place, we got the church in place. Now let's look at getting in some of the older parts of the build here. So that works. Actually, you know what? I think maybe... Oh, darn. I meant to click this. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Let's actually just bring this one right over into here for now. And then we'll get this to connect up right like that. And that's where we'll end it. Okay, very nice. We got that in there. We're going to turn off cars on this road. So I guess we might as well do that now. So we'll do this. I'll just select this part. And we'll turn off cars. And trucks. And taxis and buses. And we'll just have recycling and emergency vehicles. Alright, so we're going to go with some of these... I guess we need to plan out the rest of the fort. So this is kind of the more Mounties side of it, but there's definitely going to be some older parts to this area. So we're going to go and find it over here. And we're going to type in abandoned. We're going to get a couple things. Some of this is this abandoned farmhouse. And this is exactly what I'm kind of looking for. So this probably would have been a fort. There probably would have been a palisade around here at one point. And when the Mounties took it over, and you know, the city did, or the province, I guess, they probably would have removed some of the palisade, but they probably would have left some of these buildings. So this is why I'm kind of looking for the place in a couple of these old farmhouses where the city's kind of left them be, but they still remain a part of the history of the area. So we're just going to place in a couple more, kind of creating like a bit of an older neighborhood, maybe for the old general that used to be here, something like that. We'll have leave that space open, and then if we type in castle, we get some of these abandoned, or some of these castle walls, and this is what I'm really looking forward to. I think this is going to really play a major part in this. So this is going to allow us to kind of show where the old palisade used to be. So we'll have that in there, and then we can create some old ruins as well. So we'll just create like a little bit of a little bump out like that. And that used to be a farmhouse, for example, or, you know, maybe an old cannon or something like that, or something similar. So maybe we can have another one over here. So we'll just do a larger one like that, and then I'll bump up the size right here into there, go back down into this size, and there we go. So we had another, you know, older building there that used to be there. And maybe we can have one right along in here as well. This used to be, say, the old barracks or something before they built a new one, and they've, you know, it's since been demolished and stuff like that. And why don't we get this one to come right along this kind of front right there. This one's going to come right to about here, and then we'll have some broken parts of it all the way to about here, let's say, just kind of showing where it used to be. And we'll have another section over here, and then right up along here as well. You know, the city stopped maintaining it and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, so one thing we do need to keep in mind, though, is that I didn't, is we're going to have a bit of an entrance right here, and I'm going to build a bit of a path around the outside here. So let's grab, let's go with the nature reserve path, actually, for this one. And we're going to have this run right from here. Actually, let's go with the city path. we're gonna center this really quickly. Just like that, and then from here, we'll have the... Oop, didn't mean to have these ones have trees. We'll have the nature reserve path, and this is going to go down into here, where I'm going to build a bit of a landing for you know, people used to travel in this river for, you know, canoes, and that's how the fur trade was really run. Like the rivers of North America were the highways of North America before they actually built highways, right? So let's just try and level it out. We'll choose a height. It's pretty close to the river here, so we'll just grab that one. And we'll say this is natural. All right, and then we'll smooth out this area. And we'll create a bit of a path down to here. All right, so right from here, let's connect up right there. Come down, let's go freeform. And like a tour will come down here and they'll talk about how the fur trade used to, you know, set up their portages right here and, or their canoes and stuff like that. So we'll have an old building down here as well. So we'll go back to abandoned. And oh, there's the farmhouse. Perfect. And maybe this house was one of the original like guard houses or something like that. We'll just lower it down to the ground a little bit like that. There we go. Okay, I'm kind of rushing here because we're running out of time. Spent too much time picking out these European buildings. And we need canoes, so we're just gonna hop into here and let's grab a couple things. So we'll grab a dock, place this one right in there, bring it right to there, and we're going to lower it into the ground like so. And I think that means we need to just do a bit of terrain work here. Try to do that. And we are playing on 3 speed, so the water is, you know, moving really fast. Then let's grab some canoes here. So let's go down into here. Here we go. And let's go line. And I'll just line up a couple of these canoes. I'll come back and I'll delete a couple of them. And, you know, I'm sure the tour guide will talk about what's going on through here. So we'll have, oops. Just gotta hop into here. There we go, single. Okay, and we'll place some picnic tables over here for the tour guide. People stop here and they talk about how they used to land the canoes here full of furs, and you know the canoe is the method of transportation of the day. All right. So we'll have a sign here too in case people don't come here with a tour group. We'll talk about that, and we'll have an old dock as well. So I believe if we go here. Oh wait, no. Isn't there another one? Here. Oh darn, I believe there's another kind of abandoned pier. But why don't we just stick with this one for now? So I'll click it in, and we'll just move it. What's this one like? No, okay, we'll stick with this one. And I'll just kind of move it over into here, and we'll lower it into the ground a little bit. An old pier that used to be here. Okay, so that kind of works. We're gonna definitely retree this area as well, but we need to still make the abandoned fur trading post. So let's go back into castle. I'll grab these, And we'll say that maybe right into here, there was an original building here. Okay, so we'll run that path from here, and we'll connect it, and we'll get this one to go right into the ruins. And we'll talk about it. So, you know, maybe we'll get a nice little sign in here. This was the original fur trading post. And they since built up like a more fortified position. Where does it kind of end? It kind of ends over here. So let's bring in this old wall. And we'll get this old wall to run right here. And that's why they decided to build this right here, because the old wall still exists, and it exists right here. All right. So this was the old kind of palisade. They used to kind of surround this whole area. So this gives us lots of opportunity to expand this as well, should we choose to in the future. So we got the old chapel. We got the tax office. It's going to definitely hit level 2. I don't really mind if it doesn't hit level 2. Looks like people are still driving along here. It's not something I was hoping for. But you know, we've kind of run out of time today. But if you have any suggestions on what to add in here, please feel free to leave your comments. And then right here, let's bring this path down. We'll connect it up like that. And then we'll have another one go from here. I'm trying to not get them to snap together. And we'll connect it. And there we go. Okay, so this kind of gives us a couple options to play with. And why don't we get a nice little fence right here as well. Just to kind of go around the parking lot. Okay, so I think the last thing I wanted to add in was a couple lookout points. So what we'll do is, why don't we get one right here. So they can kind of see, people can kind of climb up and they can see like, oh yeah, like all the rivers meet, and this is why they built the fur trading post right over here. And then right down in here we can get another one maybe. They can talk about the original post, and since the area has been developed, they've you know, added in a church and stuff like that. But let's get one of these hunting lodges. I think maybe this one will be kind of like a stylized. This is kind of what life used to be like over here. So we can plot this one down right in there, and then we'll have a smaller one over in here. And we can go into the BOB mod and just grab this, and we can find the trees. So the conifer trees, let's replace it with, why don't we do the young linden? There we go. So we can kind of see it a little bit better. And I don't mind this one having pine trees on it and stuff. What other assets can we add in here really quickly? And nothing from there. Anything from the city park that we can add in? We got some piers and stuff, and the gazebos, of course. I love having these gazebos. They're nice places to, you know, kind of stop and, you know, think about the history of the region. All right, so we got one in there, and why don't we place another one right here? Yeah, there's Fort Prairie, everyone. I think it turned out pretty nicely. I think there's still some work that we could do to improve it. I think I wasted lots of time today kind of just talking about what the future plans are for the series and stuff like that, which, you know, I think is important that we've done that and stuff. But also definitely could have saved some time if we didn't, but that's okay. Just get a nice little path right there. Okay, so we'll just add in some trees right through here to kind of fill up this area a little bit. And right in here, let's turn down the strength. I think that would help. Holy cow. Let's turn down the strength even more. All right. Yeah, so I think this turned out pretty nicely. This was a really fun build to do. Never really done something like a historical build before, but I think there's still some detailing that needs to be done in today's episode for this. But let me know what you think. And next time we're back in Fort Prairie, we'll come back here and we'll do kind of the finishing touches on here, and we'll look at how a community built up around this. So we'll look at how the first grid kind of laid out, and then we'll maybe dive in to start building up the downtown, or maybe looking at the highway after that. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I think it turned out pretty nicely. Yeah, so have a wonderful day, folks. Talk to you soon. We're trying to get a nice little shot here. Peace out.